Over the past few days, a significant development has emerged. The confrontation between Iran and Israel has not stopped after a single wave of attacks. The situation is evolving. Missile launches are still being reported. Air operations are continuing. What we are witnessing now is no longer an isolated incident. It is beginning to resemble a sustained military campaign. In modern warfare, conflicts rarely end after one major strike. They usually unfold through a series of connected operations. And that is exactly what is beginning to take shape across the Middle East. The latest escalation began after a large-scale air operation reportedly targeting several military facilities inside Iran. The operation has been referred to as Operation Lion's Roar. The reported targets included a number of strategic locations, among them missile development facilities, key military installations, and infrastructure believed to support Iran's defense capabilities. The scale of the operation was significant, large enough to trigger an immediate response from Tehran. Iranian officials stated that as long as military operations continued against their territory, their response would also continue. Shortly after that statement, the first wave of ballistic missiles was launched toward Israeli territory. Interestingly, the pattern of attacks observed over the past few days suggests a relatively calculated approach. Iran has not launched its entire missile arsenal at once. Instead, launches appear to be conducted in stages. This strategy offers several advantages. First, gradual attacks maintain constant pressure on Israel's air defense systems. Second, Iran preserves a portion of its military capability for future phases of the conflict. Over the past 2 decades, Iran has invested heavily in the development of its missile program. One system frequently mentioned in military analysis is the Khorramshahr ballistic missile. This missile has a range sufficient to reach Israeli territory from within Iran. For Tehran, missile forces are not only battlefield weapons, they also serve as strategic deterrence tools. On the other side, Israel is responding with one of the most sophisticated air defense networks in the world. This defense architecture operates in multiple layers. The first layer is Iron Dome. This system is designed to intercept short-range rockets and artillery projectiles. The next layer is David's Sling, developed to counter medium-range missile threats. For long-range ballistic missiles, Israel relies on the Arrow missile defense system. Over the past several days, these systems have been actively intercepting many incoming threats. However, in high-intensity conflicts, no defense system is completely perfect. Some projectiles may still reach the ground, sometimes not because the system failed, but because fragments from intercepted missiles can still fall back to Earth. This is a common phenomenon in modern missile warfare. This conflict also highlights another important aspect of modern warfare: interceptor logistics. To ensure a ballistic missile is successfully neutralized, air defense systems often launch multiple interceptor missiles if attacks continue repeatedly over several days. The demand for interceptors increases significantly. This is one reason Israel is also conducting air operations against Iranian military facilities. Strikes targeting missile launchers and production sites aim to reduce the opponent's attack capacity. In modern military doctrine, this approach is known as counter-launch operations. Inside Israel, the conflict is also affecting daily life. Air raid sirens have been sounding periodically in several regions. Public activities in some areas have been restricted. Several schools have temporarily closed. Situations like this create considerable psychological pressure for civilians. However, Israel also maintains an extensive civil protection system. A large network of shelters and reinforced safe rooms plays a crucial role in reducing civilian risk. Looking at the operational pattern so far, Iran appears to be balancing two objectives: demonstrating military capability, while preserving resources for future phases of the conflict. This approach reflects a clear level of operational discipline. Iran does not appear to be rushing to deploy its entire arsenal. Instead, it is maintaining a steady rhythm of attacks. One of the biggest concerns surrounding this conflict is the possibility of a wider regional war. Iran maintains a network of allied groups across the Middle East. Meanwhile, Israel has strong strategic backing from the United States. If the conflict intensifies further, involvement from other regional actors cannot be ruled out. However, for now, most military operations remain limited to direct exchanges between Iran and Israel. After several days of confrontation, the military situation presents an interesting balance. Iran still retains the ability to launch missiles. Israel continues intercepting a large portion of those threats. At the same time, Israeli air operations aim to weaken Iran's military capabilities. This means both sides are still maintaining operational capacity. There are no clear signs that either side has lost the ability to continue military operations. This conflict is still unfolding. Missiles are still being launched, air defenses are still being tested, and military operations on both sides continue. For now, neither Iran nor Israel appears ready to step back. Both sides are still demonstrating capability. Both sides are still signaling resolve. But the bigger question remains unanswered. Will this remain a limited military confrontation? Or could it expand into a wider regional crisis involving more actors across the Middle East? History shows that conflicts like this can change very quickly. One miscalculation, one unexpected escalation, and the situation could shift dramatically. For now, the balance is still holding. But how long that balance will last is something no one can predict with certainty. So, here is the question for you. Do you think this conflict will remain contained between Iran and Israel? Or could it trigger a larger regional confrontation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Because in moments like this, global events are not just watched. They are debated by people around the world.